Adobe Firefly is the all-in-one creative studio with AI-powered image and video editing for today's creative process. Built for creators of every kind, Firefly helps you generate, edit, and experiment fast. Because the asks aren't getting smaller, the budgets aren't getting bigger, and the timelines, oh yeah, still tight. With all the best creative AI models in one place, Firefly brings your ideas to life. Unlock a better way to make with Adobe Firefly.
Hey, it's Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. Now, I was looking for fun ways to tell you that Mint's offer of unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month is back. So I thought it would be fun if we made $15 bills. But it turns out that's very illegal. So there goes my big idea for the commercial. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan required. $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. See terms.
Courage. I learned it from my adoptive mom. Hold my hand.
You hold my hand.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care at adoptuskids.org. You can't imagine the reward. Brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Hey, weirdos. I'm Alaina.
I'm Ash.
And this is Morbid Still. We're still morbid. And it's part 2 of Catherine and David Birnie, the worst of the worst of the worst.
Accurate.
They're kind of like Myra Hindley and Ian Brady, but like they're also their own brand of gross.
Every like killer couple is like the other ones, but they all do something like slightly different and horrific.
Yeah, they just always brand themselves differently.
They do.
Really. They just really want to carve out their own niche.
Yeah, it's
their
just
own little ditch in the world.
Yeah.
So this is terrible. And if you live in Australia, I'm sure you're like, ugh, gross.
I don't like it.
Because they're like super big in Australia. This is a huge case. And it's just as a fair warning to everybody before we dive into it, it's really bad. There is rape involved. It's just a terrible case. So I just want to warn you ahead of time. It's real bad. But in the end, there is like a little glimmer of positivity.
We always love that.
Yeah, we're going to take it. So when we last left you off in part 1, they had already killed their first 2 victims. Mm-hmm. They had already killed 22-year-old Mary Nilsson, and they had also killed 15-year-old Susanna Candy.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And these are 2 girls from great families. They're just working. They were just living their lives when the Birnies came rolling in to offer them a ride.
Yeah.
Mary, unfortunately, just as like a quick catch up, she was the one who went to the wrecking yard where like there was like spare parts yard where David was working, and he was like, hey, I can give you cheaper tires. And he invited her to come get him at his place. And that's where he got her. Unfortunately, Susanna was walking home from work very close to her home.
Like the one night that she was walking by herself.
Yeah, the one night that her father couldn't come to walk her home, and they picked her up. Terrible. So, and it's only going to get worse from here.
Great.
So November 1st, 1986, which is, remember, the last time they abducted and killed someone was October 20th. So they're moving at a very quick pace.
Seriously.
November 1st, 31-year-old Nolene Patterson, who lived with her mother in Bicton in Perth. She was a former flight attendant for a private airline. Mm-hmm. She was like gorgeous, like beautiful smile. Like you look at her picture and you're just like, ugh, it just like shines. She was now working as a bar. Oh, sorry, I just hit my microphone, everybody. I'm not going to edit that out because we're real here.
In real time.
In real time. She was now working as a bar manager at Nedlands Golf Club and had been working all day the day she was abducted. She was charismatic, intelligent, like I said, beautiful, just like a really nice person. Everybody liked her. She was everything Catherine and David were not. Mm-hmm. She was driving home from work when she ran out of gas. Oh, so she was driving her car and ran out of gas.
Dude, I can't even tell you how many times that's happened to me.
Oh, I know.
You personally know.
Oh, I know. She pulled over, and this is when Catherine and David pulled over because they saw her.
Just to help.
And they offered her a ride. Now, she kind of knew them a little bit.
That always happens. That happened in the Myra and Ian case as well.
Yes. she at least recognized them because apparently they had helped her wallpaper a room in her home that she shared with her mother before.
That's very
And
random.
I don't know if they were just doing like
Odd
odd jobs or whatever, but I'm assuming that's where David took a liking to her. She got in. A knife was immediately held to her throat, which must have been even more shocking because she knew these people.
She knew them. She's exhausted from working all day, and her car just ran out of
What a day.
Oh,
She was immediately taken to their home. She was bound and gagged and immediately raped by David. Catherine got jealous immediately of her.
Oh.
Because she could sense that David was very attracted to her. Like, David took a very big liking to her.
Gross.
Now, usually, remember, they killed their first victim, Mary. They killed her right away. Susanna they held on to for a couple of days and, like, tortured, raped, assaulted her, and then killed her. David was pretty set on keeping Nolene around for a long time. And that was bothering Catherine.
Well, because he wanted a sex slave.
Exactly.
And she was fine with that.
She was fine with that until he showed that he was, like, genuinely attracted to someone. I think that's when it, like, because he started treating her a little differently.
That's kind of like what happened in the Colleen Stan case, too.
Exactly. And so, also, Nolene was very smart, very quick-witted, and she was like, you know what? I'm going to do everything I can to survive here.
Hell
because
yeah,
she was
you
like,
have to.
clearly something bad is going to happen here. Something bad has already happened, but I got to get out of here. But she decided that she was going to act like she was having fun. She was going to act like this is fine, which must have been
it's smart, but I can't imagine feigning
the
that.
hardest thing ever. So she was trying to act like, yes, sure, I'll do whatever you want. This is fine. This is great.
Like I've always actually wanted this.
And David was loving it. He's loving that she's showing that he likes her too. So he was forming kind of like a little relationship with her. He was like, he really liked her. Yeah. And Catherine was getting angrier and angrier.
Oh, yeah.
And she's getting more and more jealous. She actually tried to hurt her when he was like out of the room, but David caught her and stopped her.
Wow. And that probably just made her even angrier.
I was going to say just ignited a rage in her. So after 3 days of keeping her,
oh my gosh,
Catherine finally got to the boiling point of being so upset, so jealous. She brought a knife into the room, held it to her own throat, and told David, you either kill her or I'm going to kill myself right now.
Oh my goodness.
And so David was like, okay. And he forced sleeping pills down Nolene's throat and then killed her.
Oh my goodness.
They brought her to the same state park, killed her. They buried her in a shallow grave in the forest. Now, while they were burying her, Catherine was cursing at her, throwing dirt at her, and she actually said later that she took pride in throwing sand in her face while David was burying her.
That is a different level of fucked up.
Oh, yeah, and wait until I talk about later when they discover the bodies, what she does again. Her jealousy for Nolene was so deep, it was unreal. Now, November 5th, 1986, November 5th, 4 days later.
Yeah.
This is literally 4 days after they took Nolene, and this is like a day after they've buried her.
Right. So we're getting frenzied.
Now, this one is rough. This one was 21-year-old Denise Brown. She lived in a house with her boyfriend and another couple. She was working as a part-time computer operator and babysitter. On the night they abducted her, she was just trying to come home from a night out. She was at like a bar.
Yeah.
And she was just trying to come home. She was waiting for the bus at a bus stop. She met David and Catherine, who pulled up, and they offered her a ride. She got in there instead of going on the bus. She just wanted to go home. Now, they brought her home. They did the exact same thing to get her into the house. They also made her call and send letters to her friends and family saying she was okay. Ugh. Her boyfriend and the people, like all her friends were like, no, something is off here.
Yeah.
Like her boyfriend was like, no, she wouldn't just like run away without telling me.
Right.
And after 2 days of staying in that house, they forced sleeping pills down her throat. They had raped her, assaulted her, the whole gamut. That place was like a house of horrors.
To say the least.
Tortured these women, tortured them. And then they forced sleeping pills down her throat because Catherine decided after the 2 days that she was bored of Denise.
Wow.
So she was like, time to go. Yeah, she was mainly the one that would decide it's
when
done.
it was time. And
Yeah.
it's honestly, it sounds like she's addicted to sex and stuff, in this kind of stuff too.
She's addicted to something. Yeah,
She's addicted to
like,
David.
she's addicted to David, and I
And
think
probably
she's
the
addicted
thrill.
to the power that she feels, and she's got something with women because when she says later,
even that quote that she said.
So I think this is like she likes the power she has over these women, and she likes to decide their fate based off of how David acts to them.
Well, her mother left her, right? Or no, her mother died.
So,
but her grandmother left her.
Well, her grandmother and her family members just passed her around.
Yeah, so it's like she didn't have a strong maternal bond with
I was
anyone.
going to say, she didn't have a strong maternal bond, and she also just, like, was always taught, you're not good enough, I'm going to throw you to someone else. So I think now she's like, I am good enough, and I'm in power here.
And
like,
I'm going to
the
throw
one.
these people
I decide
away.
when you go.
Right.
That's what's going to happen, which
Right.
is so fucked.
It is.
So they ended up bringing Denise to Pine Plantation. She was still alive. They had forced sleeping pills down her throat and tried to kill her at the house. She woke up. She was alive. And it was still light out when they brought her there. So David decided, well, I'm just going to rape her until it gets dark out here.
What?
And he did. And then when it got dark out, Catherine held a flashlight so that he could see while he stabbed her in the throat and raped her at the same time.
Oh my God. That is...
Yes.
I don't, like...
Yep. Stabbed her in the throat while raping her.
I don't even think we've, like, ever had a case where that
No.
happened that I can remember.
They then dug a grave for her, a shallow grave, and before putting her in the grave, they could hear that she was still making sounds. So Catherine got a giant hunting knife from the car, and David stabbed her in the chest with it.
Oh my gosh.
While burying her, they're doing their thing, and suddenly she sits straight up and begins, like, gasping for air.
This poor
David
girl.
didn't know what to do, so he hit her in the head with the shovel, but she still fought back. So he ran and found an axe that they had brought with him and hit her 3 times in the skull with the axe until she died.
Oh my God.
Yep. Yeah.
How do you have no regard for anyone?
That is just outrageous
Lethal.
to me.
Like,
Outrageous to me.
that is
somebody could do that
overkill
shit.
of, like, the highest degree.
And what horror that girl went through.
And wow, what a fighter.
What a fighter.
Wow.
To the bitter end.
Yeah.
Adobe Firefly is the all-in-one creative studio with AI-powered image and video editing for today's creative process. Built for creators of every kind, Firefly helps you generate, edit, and experiment fast. Because the asks aren't getting smaller, the budgets aren't getting bigger, and the timelines, oh yeah, still tight. With all the best creative AI models in one place, Firefly brings your ideas to life. Unlock a better way to make with Adobe Firefly.
Hey, it's Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. Now, I was looking for fun ways to tell you that Mint's offer of unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month is back. So I thought it would be fun if we made $15 bills. But it turns out that's very illegal. So there goes my big idea for the commercial. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan required. $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. See terms.
And at this point, the media had already been covering these missing women cases.
Right.
So, and also later we'll hear that Catherine said that murder was the one she said because it was so messy at the end and kind of terrible, that she said at the end of that one, she was like, I don't really want to do this anymore. Like this one was like, she was like, I want to abduct and like rape girls, but I don't know if I want to murder them anymore. And then she was like, and I feel like that was so messy, we're going to get caught.
All
But
right.
David was like, no, I want to keep going. And she was like, okay.
Yeah, like he's not going to stop.
Yeah. And she was like, oh, okay.
Oh, man.
So November 10th, this is only days after,
Yeah.
1986.
It's like
Kate,
not even a week later.
yeah, Kate Moyer. So she worked full time. She was 17 years old. She worked full time at a clothing store. The night that David and Catherine came across her, she was walking home from a night out with friends. They pulled up. They said, do you want to ride? I guess her friends had like brought her part of the way. And then she was like, yeah, I just want to walk. It's like really close. Like I need some air.
Yeah.
So she had gotten out and she was like, yeah, you know what? You can bring me the rest of the way.
Yeah.
So they were like, okay. So this time they changed it up a bit. They didn't take her directly to their house.
Where'd they go?
They said, what's your address? We'll take you home. And she was like, okay. So she told them their address. They took her home. But when they got there, she tried to get out of the car and realized there's no handles on the inside. They had taken the handles off.
Is even a different kind of evil.
So they brought her to her house in front of her home, only to go, psych. You can't get out.
How do you even think of that? Like, how does your brain do that?
And that to me is like they wanted, I think
Terror.
that was like a new layer that they were like, oh, this will be fun.
Yeah.
Like that was one of those things that were like, wouldn't it be fun if we like remove the handles, bring them to their house and they're this close and then just drive them away?
Again, how do you fucking think of that?
That is the darkest shit I have ever heard.
Yeah, that's so fucked.
David immediately brings out a hunting knife in front of her home, sitting in the car, and she can't get out.
And her parents are just like right
there,
inside.
Right there. Held it to her throat, and Catherine tied her arms together and put a blanket over her head.
Stop.
Yep.
A blanket over your head, too.
Yeah.
Just like,
Then they drive her back to their home. And on the way there, I guess she flat out asked them, are you going to rape or hurt me or kill me? And I guess David responded, we'll only rape you if you're good.
Ew.
That's what he said to her. When they got back to the house, they made her completely undress. They put all of her stuff into a plastic bag with her name on it.
That's weird as fuck.
They then made her take a shower while Catherine watched her.
What? Why are they getting so much weirder with this?
Yes, they get weirder each time. They're so fucked.
They are. It's just dirty.
Then they made her they said they asked her a bunch of questions about like her loved ones and like her life and all this weird shit. And then they made her dance to the Dire Straits song Romeo and Juliet in front of them.
Oh my God. I remember listening to this case and I remember hearing that and just being like, what?
Made her dance to it in front of them. Yeah.
And she's naked.
Yeah.
That's just
horrified, terrified.
And you have to dance?
And you have to dance to their liking in front of them.
In
front of these two fucking dehydrated ghouls.
Ew.
Like, they look like, in Beetlejuice, when at the end, when, like, they start, they do the seance.
Yeah.
And the two ghosts start, like, crumbling.
Yes.
Into, like, that's what they look like. And that's what you have to dance in front of. And please.
Stop.
That's what they look like. And that's horrifying.
I don't want to be here anymore.
And she said they were, like, smoking cigarettes, like,
just
chain smoking weed, like, doing drugs, just making, like, thinking this was, like, a fun time. And she's just like, what the fuck?
This is so just disturbing.
And at one point they had her sit down and like watch TV with them. I think they had her watch like Rambo with them.
What?
Yeah, they used to love to watch Rambo, and I guess they made her watch it with them.
I can't imagine
like,
sitting
what?
through a television show like while you've just been abducted and being like, what the fuck is going to happen to me?
Like, why am I watching Rambo with you?
Right.
You fucking
like, is this what you abducted me for?
Yeah. And I guess so they're sitting there, and then all of a sudden David and Catherine, like, they flip on the news, and there's like news of these missing girls, and David and Catherine are thinking, this is hilarious. They're making jokes. So Kate obviously has no idea at this point that they are the ones who
They're murderers.
So Kate is like, weird, and she's like, yeah, that's crazy. And then she notices that in the room with them is a newspaper, and it's open to an article about Denise. And she's like, oh yeah, like, that's crazy. Well, I guess Catherine started laughing at it and I guess Catherine, and so Kate was like, what's funny about that? And Catherine said, quote, you would think a big girl like that could protect herself.
Ew. Like,
and Kate was like, oh, they did this.
Yeah.
Like, Kate's like, oh, okay.
Like I know what
I'm part
is
of
happening.
This like string of girls, and they've done this. So she was like, oh shit. So she said,
Fight
she was
or
like,
flight.
she said it. She was like, I was going to die that night. Like, I was fully prepared. And then she said something, and I don't have the exact quote. She was saying it's a very weird thing to realize you're going to die, but not be able to fully process it.
Yeah. Cause how do you ever fully process it?
And she was like, okay, so I can let this happen to me. Or I can fight like those women fought, and I can just try to make it so that this doesn't happen to somebody else.
Try my best.
So what she did was she started putting things everywhere around the room. She was hiding them places. So she figured when police come, whether I'm dead or not, They're
They
going to
know I
find
was
these.
here.
They're going to know I was here, and they're going to be able to tie it.
And hopefully
so
we'll get them
she was sitting
stopped.
there at 17 years old thinking of everyone else and thinking of, like, how do I make this...
Like, she's like, I might die, but hopefully if I do this,
hopefully-
it doesn't happen to somebody else.
That's outrageous.
That's crazy.
That's outrageous.
But amazing.
So she hid that bag of her things with her name on it. She hid it. And she also found a pack of cigarettes, and she hid those in the ceiling because she said she figured later, if she did survive, she could say, I hid a pack of cigarettes in the ceiling. They will find it and know that she's telling the truth.
How? I would never think of that.
Yes.
How smart.
So that night, after she's doing all this, David raped her.
Oh, goodness.
So she asked if she could write down goodbye notes.
Yeah.
She was like, can I, because they were like, we want you to write a letter to your fans, like your family and friends,
Yeah.
saying you're fine. And she was like, okay, can I just write like a goodbye note and like tell them that, you know, I'm going somewhere and like I love them. Can I write all that? And they were like, yeah, sure. Just make it seem like you want to leave. So
Okay.
she did that. But she was like, she's doing all this very deliberately. And that night, David handcuffed her foot to his foot to go to sleep.
Shut
So
the
she
fuck
couldn't
up.
leave.
Ew, I hate feet so much.
I know. And he also gave her sleeping pills, like forced them into
she
her
couldn't
mouth
do
and
anything.
told her, just go to sleep.
No.
Well, Kate pretended to swallow them, but then ended up, when he fell asleep, spit them out and hid them under the mattress.
Wow.
Yes, because she knew if she was like, if I took those sleeping pills, I would be dead.
Absolutely.
Like that. And she was like, and now knowing that's their MO, I would have been dead. That would have been the next thing that happened. So the next morning, David had her call her parents and tell them that she was just really drunk the night before. And he said to let them know that, you know, I'm just hanging out with friends. I'll
Yeah.
be back later. And he said, if you let them know anything, I will murder you just like the others. So that's when he officially admitted to her, I murdered the other ones.
That's so scary.
So she's like, good. So David went to work because, again, he doesn't miss work.
I love
He
it.
goes to work,
I'm
just like the
here
toy box
for it.
killer. Remember the toy box killer?
Yeah, go to work.
Just
you
go to
fuck.
work. They all just go to fucking work.
Go
and then
ahead.
shit goes down
Go
when
ahead.
they go to work.
Go to work.
Go to fucking work.
You dingus.
Get that Employee of the Month badge.
Yeah.
Get it.
Get your coin.
I hope you get $100 extra in your paycheck because
And
you're
then I
not
hope
going to
that you
use
can't
it.
spend it.
You can't spend it,
Exactly.
motherfucker. So he leaves, and Catherine's in the house with her, which is like
Which is
real
more
scary.
terrifying,
Yeah.
to be honest.
So Kate is like, okay, how do I go about this? And he's like, she's like, I could be quiet, or I could try to befriend her. And she
That's
was like,
smart.
I'm a likable person, and Kate is a very likable person. She's got a face that you just like would be
I
like,
could be
yeah,
friends with
hey,
you,
Kate.
yeah.
Like, you know, like she's just got a very nice smile. She's just very happy. And
Yeah.
she was like, I can do this. So she starts talking to her. And she starts being like, what music do you like? What is it? Like just acting like a normal person would. So they start listening to music together
All right.
because they're starting to talk about it. Catherine's getting a little comfortable with her. She's not treating her too like as much like shit, even though she's like, you know, sitting there like half naked and they're
Right.
prisoner. And at some point, someone knocked on the door. And apparently Catherine had taken up to selling drugs at this point, so it was someone coming to get their drugs.
Okay.
So she's like, Kate, get in the bedroom and you stay there.
Yeah.
Like, don't go anywhere. And Kate's like, yeah, okay. So
For sure.
Caitlin goes to the bedroom and she's like, cool. So immediately she's like, what the fuck do I do here? I gotta get out of here. So she hides some lipstick of hers. She puts a paper with her name and number on it and hides it so that they would find it later. And she escaped through the fucking window and ran to 3 different houses who were not home at the time. She is half naked, by the way.
Oh my gosh.
She finally gets to a market and she's screaming, half naked, running up to this guy outside of a market. And she said, quote, if a woman, first of all, she said, I've been raped and abducted. Please help me.
Yeah.
And she said to him, if a woman comes here and says I've had a fight with her and I'm her daughter, don't believe her. I've been raped.
Oh my goodness.
So now I'm like, because I couldn't find anything further.
she
about
must
that.
have said something.
I was like, she definitely said something. She must have said, like, if someone asks, like, I'm just going to say you're my daughter.
Right.
Or, like, she must have told her some shit like that. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Like, even if you escape, I'm just going to pretend you're my daughter and I'll get you anyways.
Right.
Like, that must have been some terrorizing shit that she did.
Absolutely.
It's crazy. So they did call the police. The police did not believe her initially.
I'd be like, cool, go to the motherfucking house and peep all my clues.
That's the best part. So they brought her to the Palmyra police station, and it was police officer Laura Hancock who finally was like, guys,
Thank you.
she's telling the fucking truth.
Thank you.
Laura was 22 years old and was fresh out of the police academy. This was her first everything.
A BAMF.
And she literally was like, fuck all y'all who are like veterans on this police force. This girl is telling the truth. How fucking dare you not believe her?
Well, and just like, no. Like,
And
your job is to help me. Your job isn't to like believe or not believe
Exactly.
me. You're just supposed to help me.
And there was no reason to not believe
She's
her.
half naked,
Like,
dude.
what do you...
Also, like, maybe break out a rape kit.
What
like,
is she getting
I'll tell
out
you
of
what you need
this?
to know.
What would she get out of lying about this? This
No,
doesn't make any sense.
That makes me so angry.
It's insane.
Like, ugh.
So, and what Officer Laura Hancock said was, quote, I was told that it was a bizarre story and to just stitch her up for a false report.
Yeah, it's a bizarre story, but also, why don't you think about what's going on in the area at this time?
Well, that's the other thing, and it's like, oh, so now you're going to charge her with a false police report?
Yeah, like
are
that's
you kidding
nice.
me? And she said, and I'll never forget those words. That is verbatim. I have lived those words for 30 years.
Wow.
So Laura's like, I can't believe that they were just like, fuck this. It's weird.
I would have left. I would have been like, I'm not going to work here then.
No, fuck that. So her story, of course, was very consistent. She was telling them everything that happened. She had every detail. And she was like, guys, I have their address. Like, I'll take you to their house. Like, you can find all my shit. So she was like, and she said, she was like, this is what I left. I will name you every single thing that I left in there and it'll confirm.
Mm-hmm.
And not only that.
This episode is brought to you by SoFi, the all-in-one finance app. The sooner you start investing, the more potential you have to build your money, even for beginners. SoFi makes it simple with an easy-to-use app. To get you going, SoFi is offering up to $1,000 in stock when you open up and fund a SoFi self-directed brokerage account. Terms apply. Learn more at SoFi.com/SXM. Brokerage offered through SoFi Securities, LLC. Member FINRA/SIPC.
Hi, Ryan Reynolds here for Mint Mobile. Are you looking for a beach read this summer? May I suggest your big wireless bill? It's got suspense, mystery, a slightly flat, emotional arc, and a shocking twist where you realize you've been overpaying the entire time. Fortunately, though, Mint's story is better. Every plan, $15 a month. Even unlimited. That's it. Happy ending. Zero tears. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/save.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan required. $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. See terms.
She was like, I can describe these people like to a T. I can tell you. She said David had an abnormally long hooked nose.
He does.
And Catherine was short and had a permanent frown and high cheekbones, which is exactly how you describe her.
Yes.
A
To a
perma-frown
T.
and high cheekbones.
Yeah.
The detectives went to the house and they said it was filthy.
Ew.
It was described as, quote, strewn with food, clothes, and bedclothes. Several ashtrays were overflowing with butts, and on the table there were 3 pairs of tweezers and a syringe.
The fuck?
They also said there were newspapers open intentionally to stories about the missing women.
Oh, yeah.
They found all the evidence that Kate had planted,
Yeah.
every single piece
I bet
of
they
it.
felt real fucking stupid then.
They also found a lot of the details that Kate had told them, because Kate was like, here's what the living room looks like. Here's what the bedroom looks like. Here's
Yeah.
what their fucking comforter looks like. Told
Yeah.
them everything. Kate's a bad bitch.
She is.
And they arrested Catherine on the spot. Because
Love
she
it.
wasn't home, I guess, and they had to wait in the house for him. When she arrived, they were like, hello,
Hey,
Catherine. You're
how
under
are you?"
arrest. They went to David's work and arrested him. And I guess all his like coworkers were like, what the fuck?
Yeah, right. It's like when John Wayne Gacy was
People were
arrested.
shocked. And one person who was talked to was the owner of like a nearby video store in the area. And he said, he was like, oh yeah, he's like, I always thought they were kind of weird. They rented a new video like every day of the week.
And it was probably like porn, right?
Probably. And also weird shit like Rambo and stuff. Like it was just like,
Yeah.
it was a random mishmash of things. So
Yeah.
but they were like, that's a lot of videos. Like, what
Yeah.
are you doing?
What are you doing?
What are you doing? Kate also confirmed later that while in the car being driven to her home, she said when she was held at knife point, she said she heard Catherine say clearly, I have the munchies. Do you have the munchies? Which later we find out that is a thing.
Right.
So the couple both said when they were brought into the police station, they both were like, oh no, Kate came with us willingly. Like,
Yeah,
this
for
was...
sure.
And they said Kate had gone home with them to smoke. And then they had sex. David said they had sex consensually.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Not the truth.
And they were questioned for like hours and hours. Neither one of them were going to admit anything. They were both like, nope, this is our story. Like, fuck her. I'm not going to sit here and admit to anything. She came to our house willingly and you can't prove anything different. And they were literally, they were like, because they were like, well, we have all this shit that she left. And they were like, yeah, she left them there. Like, she was in our house. Of course, I know, we're admitting she was in our house.
Well, I was going to say to you when you were like saying how they're doubting her and then they go look at the stuff. I'm like, what if they think that they just like, this is like a drug deal gone wrong or something like that? But
then it's like she wrote her name and address on a piece of paper and hit it. It's like some of the things you got to be like, and like the bag with her name on it.
Yeah, that's fucking creepy as hell.
But still, it's all kind of just like circumstantial at that point when it comes down to it.
Right.
And so, and if they're admitting like, yeah, she was in our house, but like, that was it.
Mm-hmm.
And so after a ton of time, one of the detectives questioning David was just getting tired. And so eventually he was like, he said this. And this was just him saying like a phrase. This is just a phrase they use. He goes, it's getting dark. Why don't you just show me where the bodies are so we can dig them up? And he said it like, you know, tell me all the skeletons in your closet.
Right.
Like, just show me where the bodies are so we can dig them up. Just give me the information.
That was like kismet that he said that.
Well, and he's using this as just like, ugh, like
a
I'm
phrase.
Exasperated. David thought he knew and that he was saying that because he knew. So David just goes, okay, there's 4 of them.
Oh my God.
and then started crying.
Oh, crocodile tears. Like, put them back in your socket.
That is fake crying.
Shut
fake
the fuck
ass
up.
crying because you got caught. That's what it. But I love that this detective was like, "Oh God, just tell me where the bodies are so we can end this." And he's like, "All right, there's 4 of them." And that detective was probably like, "Oh fuck!" He
was like, "No, I actually did want to go home." Like,
"Oh no, okay, this is gonna be a longer night." I see. So he told them the names of the victims. He said, "I'll take you to where they're buried."
What the fuck?
He just confesses.
He just broke.
And as soon as he starts confessing, they go to Catherine and they're like, motherfucker just confessed everything. And she's like, all right, well, yeah, I did it. Yeah, we were there. So they were like, okay, you got to take us to the bodies. So David took them to Mary, Susanna, and Denise's grave sites. But Catherine was insistent that she be the one to take them to Nolene Patterson's grave.
Well, I would be like, no, you don't get to do what you want to do.
Oh, no, she was like, well, because David was like, I think they had some kind of weird thing. And David was like, I'll take you to these 3. And she was like, I will take you to that one.
It's weird.
And she hated her for catching David's attention.
Yeah.
And she was still talking shit about her to the cops, like, as they were going there. And the cops are like,
can you imagine?
Like, are you kidding? She talked about how much she hated her. She said she was glad she was dead. She said she didn't regret 1 second of that. And when they got to the site and unburied her, she leaned over and spit on her in the grave.
It's like, imagine being an officer sitting there and you're like, really?
Yeah.
Really? That's what you want to do right now?
Can you imagine being those detectives watching, you're unburying a body that she's like, yeah, I fucking hate this girl and blah, blah, blah. You're unburying her and she just leans over and spits on her. I'd be like, what is in front of us right now?
Like, that's not even a human
is in front of us right now.
That's nuts.
That would be so sickening to watch.
And also, like, how about a new word for petty?
That would be sickening to watch.
I can't.
Sickening.
I can't.
So the only murder that Catherine actually showed any kind of emotion over, it wasn't regret or like cared for her remorse or anything. It was really purely selfish. She basically didn't like Denise's murder, which was the last one, which I told you she didn't like how it all went down.
Yeah, right.
She was just kind of horrified of the experience of watching the brutality of it. And she said, quote, deep and dark in the back of my mind was yet another fear. I had a great fear that I would have to look at another killing like that of Denise Brown, the girl he murdered with the axe. I think she just didn't like the messiness of it.
Yeah, no, because she was talking shit about Denise after she died, too.
Yeah, it's not remorse. It's just purely selfish. I don't want to watch that again.
Right.
That's all.
Right.
And as they were leaving the site of Susanna, Denise, and Mary's grave sites, David Birnie looked at the police and went, what a pointless loss of a young life.
He did that to be an asshole.
Well, and they were like, are you kidding me right now?
Like, you think so?
Wow.
That's just ridiculous.
So people actually think that Catherine may have somewhere, even in the back of her mind, allowed Kate to escape because she was sick of the whole ordeal. Since she did say over and over many times to police, she said, quote, I knew that it was a foregone conclusion that David would kill her and probably do it that night. I was just fed up with the killings. I thought if something did not happen soon, it would simply go on and never end.
Wow.
So I think she liked terrorizing.
Oh, yeah.
And I think, I think a couple of them she was definitely down for, like, murdering.
Well, and like we said, she wanted to be in charge.
But she wanted to be in charge. I think this was getting messy.
Well,
and she was like...
If you look at it from, like, her, like, whole power stance point, she didn't have control over that.
Yeah, the power was shifting.
As soon as she saw that, she was like, oh, shit, like, I'm not so in control of this.
Exactly. Like, in that... Because she says, it was a foregone conclusion that David would kill her. And probably that night. So it's like, I didn't have a choice in this, and I didn't have a part to do. I didn't get to do it.
So I made the choice to let her go.
Exactly. And I wonder if it was a power thing in that sense, like she allowed it to happen.
Maybe.
So she's like, I allowed this to happen.
Based on everything that like we've talked about so far, I agree with that.
Yeah. So the major crime squad seized a ton of photographs from their home, and they said they were, quote, were so appalling that the detectives refused to discuss them even amongst themselves.
Wow.
So no one knows what was on those.
I don't want to.
But no one wants to know. On November 12th, police charged Catherine and David, each with 4 counts of murder.
Yes.
2 counts of aggravated sexual assault on the 17-year-old girl, and 1 count of deprivation of liberty.
Wow.
Now, they appeared in court on November 13th, 1986. That same day, there were workers lifting out section of drain pipe around the Birnie home because weeks before that, apparently some road workers said they found pieces of bones and shoes and women's underwear in the piping.
The fuck?
But nothing was ever done about that. Like, nothing was ever taken seriously about that. So until they arrested them, that's when they were like, oh, we should probably look at that.
We should probably figure out where those bones came from.
Like bone fragments, I guess. It wasn't like full bones.
Yeah, but still.
So they did nothing more after that. They just that was it. And they didn't find anything in the pipes when they went looking again. But that had been weeks and weeks ago. So whatever was in the pipes is long gone at that point.
So does that mean that they killed other people probably?
They think they might have.
Yeah.
Now, when they were leaving the courtroom, there were like crowds and crowds of people that showed up because this had tons of media coverage.
I hope they were all spitting on Catherine.
It was like Myra and Ian kind of thing, how everybody's like just wants a piece of
them. It's like
them.
an angry mob.
Exactly. David blew a kiss at them, and Catherine apparently smirked at them, but then lost her shit. Like kicking, screaming, spitting, like going crazy while being led
I
out of
would
court.
literally spit on her.
Now, during the trial, a 19-year-old woman came forward and said they had offered her a ride at one point, and she got scared when she walked up to the car because she saw a young girl lying in the back seat. It was Denise, who they had drugged and were going to pick up that other girl to take her.
What?
They were going to take her the same night.
And you think somebody's going to get in the car when they see that?
Well, they were like, oh, she's sleeping. And she was like, no. Like, she just had a bad feeling. So she was like, no.
Did she just, like, run?
Yeah, she just left. She was like, nope. And they weren't going to leave the car with Denise in it.
No,
so
of course not.
She was,
Bye.
I guess, lucky in that sense. Now, bail was refused for them.
Yeah.
They went back into court February 10th, 1987. They both pled guilty to the murders, abduction, and rape. David turned to the families and said about pleading guilty, he said, it's the least I could do. What a hero.
Hate him.
What a hero.
I hate him.
That's so nice. They were both sentenced with 4 life sentences.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
David has a stamp on his record saying never to be released.
But did you say he died?
He did die, which I'll get into. And the judge said, quote, each of these horrible crimes were premeditated, planned, and carried out cruelly and relentlessly over a comparatively short period. He should never be let out of prison.
No.
Catherine got a sentence that made her eligible for parole in 2007. Because there was some law on the books that every 3 years, whether they wanted to or not, they could go for parole. Don't worry, that changes. So when they were sentenced and brought to the vans to go into prison, Catherine had to be dragged, kicking, screaming, spitting, and cursing into the van.
Girl, like, where do you think that like
you're not
going to get
away.
you?
Yeah.
Right.
And it's like, it's not making you look sympathetic or anything.
No, you're
You
just
look
annoying.
like an animal. Like, so Catherine and David, while in prison, they were in 2 separate prisons, and they exchanged thousands of letters.
Myra and Ian.
Myra and Ian.
Very Myra and Ian.
And I might say this wrong, so I'm sorry. David was in Cowritten prison, so I hope I'm saying that right. You know I love you, Aussies, so you let me know. He got into fights in that prison a ton.
Oh, yeah.
And he got the shit kicked out of him a ton. So
good.
So good for that. At first, Catherine said she missed David. She felt guilty. Not about what they had done. She didn't feel guilty about what they'd done, but the fact that she felt she got them caught. Mm-hmm. So she was feeling guilty.
She felt
about
guilty.
That.
Yeah. She didn't feel guilty because she got them caught. She felt guilty because she got them caught on purpose.
Exactly. She felt guilty.
That further solidifies it.
Exactly. She apparently told someone in prison, in fact, quote, I could have stopped that girl. I should have, but it all had to come to an end.
Yep.
So she started feeling guilty about that because now she realizes she's in prison for the rest of her life.
Yeah, she's not guilty. She just feels regret.
Yeah, exactly. Her own selfish
Shit,
regret.
the way I just said, I was like,
regret.
regret.
She feels regrets is what she feels.
Yeah.
And David began to try to get people that he was trying to get visits with Catherine. Like, he's thinking...
In what world do you think that's going to happen?
He was telling them, like, physically and emotionally and mentally, he was breaking down without her. So he was like, I need to see her. And they were like, we literally don't care. Like, I don't...
Like, cool, Romeo. Nobody gives a fuck.
Did you mistake us for people who give a shit about you?
Do you
because
think
we
that
don't
this
give
is
a shit about
a
you.
day camp?
Like,
because
no.
this is actually prize on.
Yeah. You don't get to cross the lake to the girls' camp and go hang out with your girlfriend, you asshole. So
I like that.
In July of 1992, David said that he went to authorities and he was like, listen, we did other murders.
Oh, hell
together.
yeah.
And he was like, and I'm ready to tell you about it. I'm ready to tell you who it is. I'm ready to bring you to the grave sites. And then they were like, cool, do that. And he was like, let me see Catherine.
Wow. So did they?
So they were like, no. And then they were like, first they said no, and then they were like, okay, give us a little bit. Like, you got to give us more to let us. You just saying that. So he starts like inching into like not details, but he's giving them a little bit of story. No names, no days.
So this could all be made up.
It could be made up, but at the same time, they were like, we don't want to like risk this. So they said, okay, we're going to talk to Catherine. Mm-hmm. And maybe they were like, maybe if he talks to Catherine, they'll both admit to what they've done, and we can pin some more on. So they asked Catherine. Now at this point, Catherine was bored of him. She was done. She wasn't answering his letters anymore. She didn't really want David in her life. She had no interest.
Adobe Firefly is the all-in-one creative studio with AI-powered image and video editing for today's creative process. Built for creators of every kind, Firefly helps you generate, edit, and experiment fast. Because the asks aren't getting smaller, the budgets aren't getting bigger, and the timelines, oh yeah, still tight. With all the best creative AI models in one place, Firefly brings your ideas to life. Unlock a better way to make with Adobe Firefly.
Hey, it's Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. Now, I was looking for fun ways to tell you that Mint's offer of unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month is back. So I thought it would be fun if we made $15 bills. But it turns out that's very illegal. So there goes my big idea for the commercial. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan required. $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. See terms.
In seeing him. So she said, no, I don't want to see him. And I don't care.
Did that like destroy him?
Also, that's Myra Hindley. This
Yeah.
literally
Holy
happened.
shit, I forgot that she did that.
This literally happened.
Yeah.
I'm like, did you guys just like follow in their footsteps?
It would be very interesting to like really get it, like a TV show between the two of their
a
couple's
dueling,
pathology.
I would love to do like a dueling like series on them. TM, that's ours.
TM, don't fucking take it.
I want to
take that out of the episode.
Yeah, I'm gonna take it out of the episode. I want to do it because these two fascinate me.
Yeah,
in the
to
worst
look
way.
further into the psychology.
There's so much. So authorities go back to David and they're like, yeah, she said no. Like, but we need you to give us the information. And he was like, no.
Right.
So, and then when they talked to Catherine about it, they were like, we know that you've done more. And she was like, shrug. And they were like, and he's what, you got to tell us and we want to give these families closure. And she was like, no, I don't care. Like, don't care at all.
What an asshole.
David continued to write her letters, but she never responded back. Again, Ian Brady.
For a second, I was like, oh, and then I was like, wait, no.
I know, you were just like, okay.
I hate the manipulation of my emotions.
They can manipulate you even from the grave. And she was looking for parole at this point. She was really like, I think I can get it. So she was like, it's a bad look to talk to him, so I'm going to remove myself.
Yeah.
Which again is I keep saying it.
Smart.
But it's like, she's thinking out for number one. She's sitting there. She's like, my whole life I acted like I was like obsessed with this man. I connected myself in every way, shape, and form to him.
Right.
I went down the rabbit hole of murder, rape, abduction, torture, terrible shit with him, for him, like only to satisfy his desires in what I've said in the past.
Yeah.
And now that I want to be out of here, she can just shut it off. That's wild.
Bananas.
That's wild.
Bananas.
Like, she literally, like, flipped a switch and was like, I want to get out, so boop, done.
Bah.
Like, you murdered people for this man.
Nah.
You left 7 children for this man.
Nah.
And you're sitting here now being able to be like, nah, I'm over it because I want to get out. That's sociopathic in a
bananas way.
Banana. Like, I just can't get over it. So, yeah. So she was looking for parole. So she was like, I got to end shit with him. And David was actually given medication at one point for depression and anxiety in prison because he just couldn't handle it. But in October 2005, there was some kind of like paperwork error with his medication. And it was just like lost in the system, his prescription and the thing saying that he needed it. So they just cut him off. Oh. Like just cold turkey cut him off of antidepressants.
Very bad for you.
Well, in 2005, he was charged with the sexual assault of a fellow prisoner and his computer, which I'm like, why did he have a computer?
I was like, his computer?
He had a computer.
I thought you like said it wrong.
It was apparently taken away, or his computer like privileges. I don't know which one. It said computer, so I was like, whoa. But it was taken away from him because he had porn on it. So
how are you getting porn in prison, my dude?
I have no idea.
Like, we should probably... Like, I couldn't even get on Tumblr in fucking high school. Like, I'm sure you could figure it out.
Kind of wild. Now, remember, it was in October 2005 that his antidepressants were cut off cold turkey. October 7th, 2005, at 57 years old, he hung himself with a sheet in his cell. He was undergoing, this was during the time when he was undergoing investigation for that sexual assault of the other inmate.
Yeah.
And it was apparently like back in 1995 that he had actually like sexually assaulted another inmate.
Oh. That
they didn't know about. So they knew about one in like the early aughts. And then they found out that he might have done it again. So he was going to be going up in front of like a judge for it, basically.
Right.
And so everybody was like, it was the next day, I guess, that he was supposed to go up in front of a judge.
So it makes sense.
So I think he knew that like it was just going to get worse and worse.
Right.
And then Catherine wasn't talking to him anymore. Like,
what did he have left?
Well, no one claimed his body, and he was buried in an unmarked pauper's grave.
Deuces.
Good riddance. He abandoned his fucking child and wife to live out a disgusting, perverted, sexual sadist serial killer dream, and it worked out really well for him, obviously.
Yeah, like, what the fuck?
His poor daughter, like I said, who I'm not going to name, she's said she's, in like an article, a few articles I read, she said she's scared to have children herself. She doesn't want to have children herself because she's worried she will spawn another David Birnie.
That's so sad that he like robbed her of that.
Yeah, robbed her completely of her happiness.
Because even the fact that she says that means she'd be a great mom.
Exactly, that she cares. And she's worried she'll pass on some kind of like gene, which is so sad.
That is sad.
She's also scared of marrying because she doesn't want to end up with a guy like her father.
Yeah.
But she maintains, according to the West Australian, which has a lot of good articles about this, she said, quote, "He was a very caring father to me, but clearly that was a mask he was putting on. It's the only way I can describe it." And she said, "I've never been able to reconcile how the person I knew was the psychopath that he was. When you're a child, you really can't know somebody that well. But I look back at it and I think, did I ever know him?"
Wow.
Which must be a mind fuck.
Your own father.
And she still lives in fear of someone seeking revenge against her purely for being his daughter. Because that happens.
Yeah.
In fact, Catherine Birnie's kids have all gotten the shit kicked out of them at different times.
And like she left them when they were small
they didn't
children.
Even know her. Like
one of them she left when they were like days old.
Literally. Like it's crazy.
That's horrible. Like don't go. Come on.
Do not go after children of murderers
that
have nothing to do with it. They're victims in their own right.
Yeah.
Now, Catherine Birnie is alive and still in prison at Bandy Up Women's Maximum Security Prison.
Ugh.
She's tried to write her children several times.
Oh, girl, no.
She likes to blame her, she just was so in love. She can't, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, kids. I was just so in love.
Infuriates me.
And she said that she cut all communications with David because he was weak and she is strong and didn't need him.
Oh my God.
And then and again, they've asked her several times. They've taken her like in and been like, you got to tell us about the other murders. Because now they don't have David. So they can't. She's all they got to tell them.
She's not going to tell them shit.
She just smirks.
Yeah, she's
and
a bitch.
won't tell them. She's such a bitch. But she has also apparently exchanged letters with other killers. Like she talks to other killers.
That's weird.
In prison. And she has also tried to make herself look like she's very reformed. And she works as the prison librarian.
Get the fuck out of here.
She reminds me of like Catherine Knight, how she tries to like nana
I'm
it
Nana
up
now.
in prison. Yeah.
Fuck off.
Her kids fucking hate her.
Yeah, of course they do.
Some of them say, like I said, they've been abused and assaulted just for being their kids. Her youngest son, who goes by Peter in all the articles I wrote, literally said that I just blew past. I was like, all the ones that I wrote.
I wrote them.
All the articles I read. He says that he literally wishes that she would, quote, hurry up and die. And I don't blame him.
I get that.
She abandoned her children and her husband to do the same thing David did, become a sexual sadist serial killer.
Yeah.
When Peter was 6. He was 6
So
years old.
sad.
When they asked him how he would feel if she dies, like if 1, she got the death penalty, or 2, she died in prison, he said, quote, it wouldn't bother me. It would be 30 years of stress off my shoulders.
Wow.
Which I don't blame him.
No.
And when asked what he'd say to his mother one last time, if he could say something, he said, quote, hurry up and die quickly.
Wow.
To which I want to say high five.
I get it.
But what a fucking terrible thing.
Well, and that's just such a sad. Yeah, it absolutely
like
is.
what
and
a shitty thing to have to
didn't
live with.
choose that at all.
Yeah, and it's like he said this. He's like, she abandoned us. Like
Right.
she was terrible. Like
Right.
that, and to have to reconcile that and have people treat you like shit over it, that's just not right. So every 3 years, like I said, she was considered for parole, even if she didn't ask for it. She went up in 2007 for the first time and was rejected because of the gruesome nature of their crimes and her full participation in them. It was thought that she was actually at one point in prison working as a messenger, like a go-between, between 2 other killer lovers that were in prison. Jessica Stasinowski and Valerie Parashumti. I'm so sorry. I'm probably butchering those.
Well, they're probably horrible people, so.
They are known as the vampire wheelie bin killers.
Yeah.
Like, yes, you heard that right. The vampire wheelie bin killers.
Oh, man.
We gotta do better with these names.
We
guys.
really do.
We gotta do better. Can we just call them like the dumb stinky feet?
Dumb.
Like, that's just the dumb. They killed a 16-year-old girl named Stacy Mitchell together.
Oh, man.
They were held in separate prisons after the judge was like, keep these monsters apart.
Yeah.
Don't put them in the same. Catherine was found with one of their diaries and was like sending messages back and forth between them.
Like, get out of here.
Get the fuck out of here. So now she's trying to help like other killer couples stay in touch. It's like, no, that can't be your thing in prison, Catherine.
No. Well, and I just don't.
I just don't.
This whole episode, I just don't.
Like, they killed a 16-year-old. Don't.
No.
Bye. Well, she was rejected again in 2013, again in 2016, and Kate Moyer is like fighting.
Hell yeah.
And she says she's speaking, like, fighting for the other victims. Like,
yeah.
Which, like, I love her so much.
And that was her mindset from the very beginning.
It was.
So you know it's not, like, made
No,
up or
it's like
anything.
she has been fighting this entire time for them. And every 3 years when she has to come to the parole things.
I hate that she even has to do that.
Yeah, she said she's there to speak for all of the victims. And in 2016, she actually started a petition. And the petition was to put an end to the re-victimization of survivors and victims' families
3 years
for this parole nonsense that she shouldn't get. And why are we even going through the motions?
Right.
So she's actually been contacted, Kate has, by Catherine's children, who have told her that they agree they never want Catherine released.
Wow.
Like, they're like, we're on your side.
That's
we're with you. We'll
amazing.
fight with you. And what she said was, I want the Attorney General to change the law and stop reviewing Catherine Birnie's parole. She does not apply for it herself. It is automatically reviewed, and every time it happens, it causes me incredible pain.
Yeah.
And she said, every time I hear that her parole is being reviewed, I relive the nightmare. It causes significant trauma because I relive it and it feels like it happened yesterday. My name was always protected because I was a minor at the time I was captured. But due to the internet, if anyone Googles my name, it is everywhere and linked to the Birnie killing. Which must suck.
Yeah.
Like, But luckily now she is connected to such a bigger, higher purpose.
Absolutely.
Which I don't even think she was looking to be connected to that, but it's just like she's so inspiring herself that it just became that. And Catherine would have been up in 2019 for another parole, but in 2018, the Attorney General, John Quigley, introduced a new law into Parliament.
Adobe Firefly is the all-in-one creative studio with AI-powered image and video editing for today's creative process. Built for creators of every kind, Firefly helps you generate, edit, and experiment fast. Because the asks aren't getting smaller, the budgets aren't getting bigger, and the timelines, oh yeah, still tight. With all the best creative AI models in one place, Firefly brings your ideas to life. Unlock a better way to make with Adobe Firefly.
Hi, Ryan Reynolds here for Mint Mobile. Are you looking for a beach read this summer? May I suggest your big wireless bill? It's got suspense, mystery, a slightly flat, emotional arc, and a shocking twist where you realize you've been overpaying the entire time. Fortunately, though, Mint's story is better. Every plan, $15 a month. Even unlimited. That's it. Happy ending. Zero tears. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/save.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan required. $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. See terms.
That said that the other law where even killers like Catherine Birnie, who were horrific killers, could apply for parole every 3 years was bullshit.
Yeah, it is.
And so he scrapped it. So killers convicted of 3 or more murders on one day, so like spree killers, or 2 or more murders on different days could be banned for parole consideration for up to 6 years. So that's
fair.
We'll take it. He also paid tribute to Kate when he was announcing the proposed law changes.
I love it.
So this is all because of her.
Yeah.
Which it's when you Google her name, it's going to be connected to this case, unfortunately. But now when you Google her name, hopefully I wish we could make it so Google would push up all the
great things that she's done.
The laws that she's put into motion, the petitions she started, the foundation she's put together, which I'll get to in a second. She's a badass.
She is.
She should be known for that.
Yeah.
And I think she is in the end.
Absolutely. I think so.
She is not David and Catherine Birnie's victim or the surviving victim of them.
No.
She's Kate Moyer, and she's a badass.
And she's changing laws and shit.
Yeah, so now Catherine's papers are marked never to be released.
Good.
And she is the second woman in Australian history to have this done. Can you think of who the first one was?
Catherine Knight?
Catherine Knight.
Grandma.
Oh, Nana. Yep, she was the first.
I think she was the first person I also called a cunt on the podcast.
Yeah, I think it was. That was when we opened up that word to let everybody know that word is safe here. We can say it about assholes.
I grew up in an Irish pub.
That's right.
It's fine.
So the chief investigating detective on the Birnie case, his name is Paul Ferguson. He said about Catherine, quote, "I honestly believe that woman has never given those victims 1 ounce of consideration, both the dead victims and the family of the victims. She's an actor. The person I met is all for herself, and she will do whatever necessary. They were parasites who lived off each other, the most evil people I've ever come across."
And they absolutely are.
Calling them parasites who lived off each other is such a chef's kiss way of describing them.
Hell yeah.
2 fucking parasites who just latched onto each other.
Because they lived like parasites too.
Now, we mentioned before that there is a possibility of other murders.
Oh, yeah.
There's a few that they're still looking at that aren't really connected. They think there's maybe 3 others, up to 3 others that they have never confirmed, but they're still unsolved cases. One of them that was actually brought forth by the victim's daughter is the case of Cheryl Renwick, who her daughter came forward in 2017 and said she believes that Catherine and David Birnie were responsible for her mother's disappearance.
I hate that Catherine
She'll
won't
never
say.
admit it. She's such a bitch.
It's you're gonna rot in there anyways.
Yeah, her mother, Cheryl Renwick, was gone Sunday, May 25th, and she said she basically just was gone, poof. But there was a few little connections that made it seem like it was David and Catherine. I think they're keeping it a little close, that investigation.
Yeah.
So I will see if anything comes out of there. I hope something comes out of it so they can get closure.
Especially for her daughter. How many years later?
Yeah, it's just floating out there. You have no idea if they had something to do with it. That sucks.
The not knowing is a crazy part.
So the home The home at 3 Morehouse Road. What happened to that? You always have to wonder what happens to these homes. It has been bought and sold 6 times since 1998. It went up for sale again in February 2020. It's still up. It's
for
like,
sale, like
no, but
nobody's
like it's
buying
still
it.
there. They haven't bulldozed it. They haven't done anything. The listing says it is, quote, restored, renewed, and refresh, which I feel like the only way it's refreshed and renewed is if like a flamethrower has been used, because like you're not going to be able to hide all this bad energy with like, you know, a coat of like Benjamin Moore. It's
Not
just
even
not
like a
gonna
little,
take it away.
not even a good sage.
You can't even throw up a live, laugh, love sign in there and make that energy go away. Like, this is a bad energy house.
Yeah, I would not want to live there.
Someone bought it in June of 2020.
Wow.
So like, whoa.
That's,
I mean, like, wow.
They probably got a
Wowzy.
very low interest rate. That's probably why.
I mean, you can see like the pictures online, right? You can see the pictures online, and it's like certainly changed. Like,
Is it nice?
It looks like a nice house. If you didn't know what happened there, then you'd be like, wow, what a nice little house.
You know that there's only like a certain amount of time that they have to tell you. Like, it's like if somebody died within this span of years, then we have to tell you. But like if it's what if it's not?
I know.
I want to know.
I want to know. I think a lot of real estate agents kind of take it upon themselves to be a little more like upfront and transparent about it.
Yeah.
But
or else I'm going to be calling you in the middle of the night, Glenda.
And being like, Glenda, what is this about?
I don't know why
that wasn't in the
Glenda.
inspection report. What's going on?
No, it was not.
Well, I don't know if anybody has seen the 2016 horror film Hounds of Love.
Not me.
It was inspired by a lot of killer couples, according to the directors and writers, but it really resembles this one.
Does it?
Like, really resemble. People think it's like
pretty much
full on inspired. And Kate Moyer is married with 3 children of her own.
Yes, Kate.
She's founded a foundation called the Empowerment Foundation, which is what like should be what is in her name.
Yes, Kate.
And it educates people on domestic abuse, how to get out, how to get help, and how domestic abuse is like takes so many different forms.
Yeah.
Because she wants to educate people that it's not just black and white what you think it is. Catherine's son, Peter, the one that she left when he was 6, he actually like was like right alongside Kate, like tried to like contacted her, wanted to work right alongside her.
What like a
supports her.
What a flip.
Right.
To end on
Like
this
what a
note,
nice
I love
note.
it.
And then I just want to leave on a quote by Kate.
You gotta.
She said, quote, I want the legacy that I leave to be that of a survivor and a hero, never a victim. I prefer the term survivor to victim. Victim is past tense. I am reclaiming my name as Kate Moyer.
Yes.
Yes, Kate. Yes, Kate.
Kate is a queen.
So if you Google Kate, make sure you look for the Empowerment Foundation.
You did a really good job on all
Thank
of those.
you.
That was
you.
wow.
That was a rough case.
It certainly was.
And that was like as like not quick, but that was as like a most condensed as I could get it. Like that was
No,
I could have
think you did
gone
a really
for like
good job.
days and days, I think, on that, but it was just so
I think you could go for
crazy.
days on days about like how like what is made.
I know,
if you
I
really
think I
researched
could.
it.
I say it all the time. Brevity is not my strong suit. I have a tough time editing. So, you know, you guys get to deal with it.
Just do it.
So you're going to be getting, this is part 2. So you'll be getting this like right away.
I love it.
Because I don't want you to have to wait because Mother's Day weekend, we love you.
And I've got some good ones coming up for you next week.
Yippee.
All right, guys. Well, we love ya. We hope if you're a mama or a grandmama or a mama figure or a dad that acts like a mama, that you have a wonderful, wonderful Mother's Day.
Have a wonderful, and then you know what? If you're missing your mama, I'm very sorry.
Yeah.
And I know that this can be like a
Craptastic
triggering
day.
Yeah. So you know what? We love you, and we'll hug you like a mom. So
XO. Morbid gals. I hope you keep listening.
It just threw all the mushiness just threw you off.
I did. I'm not normally that
Where
mushy.
am I? Yeah, and we hope you
Keep
it
weird. But not too weird that you don't have a fantastic Mother's Day. I love you so much. Bye.
Managing healthcare payments shouldn't get in the way of patient care, but fragmented systems create costly delays and add unnecessary friction. Zealous is here to help. We simplify healthcare's financial complexity by connecting every step of the financial journey for payers, providers, and members. That way, everyone can focus on what matters most. Because when the financial experience works, care doesn't just happen, it flows. Learn more at zealous.com.
Ever walk past a place for rent and wish you could just take a peek inside? Maybe even explore the layout. Envision the natural light streaming through the windows. Or plan where your vinyl record collection would go. At Apartments.com, you can. With tools like their 3D virtual tours, you can see the exact unit you could be living in. Really envision yourself in your new home with Apartments.com, the place to find a place.